Hot topics, knowledge being spread. It's like warm butter across the bread. Smooth, I know you like that. Flow with the grain and don't fight that. You want righteous love, you found the right match. With Marty McFly, they on the right track. Yeah, gotta dig the dirt to plant the seed. Spread roots till you sprout like a tree. Donnie Jones, she the one you wanna see. Donnie Jones live, this is where you wanna be. It's Donnie Jones live, Donnie Jones live. It's Donnie Jones live, Donnie Jones live. It's Donnie Jones live, Donnie Jones live.
Hey, welcome to the Donnie Jones Live Show with Donnie the Tree Lady and
that guy, Marty McFly, doing what I do. Always happy,
Marty?
I want to say almost happy New America.
How? Yes, I feel a change in the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Is that how the pastor say it?
Okay,
I
Donnie,
feel a change in the atmosphere.
Can I make a toast to
yes, let's make a toast.
The changing of the guards?
Yes.
Just, I am just happy.
I am too. Here's to making America united.
Again.
I love it.
I give you another toast on that.
There you go.
To having our first female vice president who is one of color.
Yes. I'll give you a toast.
Yes.
There you go.
So anyway, Donnie, I will be honest with you, and I will, first thing first, I want to clear up some things. You know,
please do.
When they started this whole race, I was not I'll put it like this. The person that I wanted to win, won.
That's true. That is true.
I will say that. And
the person I wanted to win still won in her own way.
In her own way, right. And I want to make sure that it's clear that I am so proud of Vice President Harris.
I am too.
And I will say that because I know I did some criticism earlier, but at the same time, I'm not one of those people that just jumped on the bandwagon.
Right.
But once you're there, I am so supportive, and I want them both to do well.
I do too. And I want to tell you, I am very proud of President Biden, which was the person that you were behind. I want to give you props for having the vision and the foresight to see that I honestly feel like it needed to be this way because he was able to open the door for her. Like she kicked the door down on her own. She's there on her own merit, but he saw that this is what this country needed. Yes. So it was him and his team that could have picked anybody that picked her. And I think it was an extremely, extremely wise choice. And I'm so proud of my girl, Kamala Harris.
Yes, it was.
So proud.
It's the studies showed that she was probably the best candidate, and I do believe that. And I don't know, did you get a chance to see any of the inauguration? Because I was stuck the whole day watching.
I cried, I laughed, I cried, I cried. I was so filled with love and joy. And I know that when Obama got elected, a lot of people said that, this is the first time that they were proud to be American. I got to say, this will be the second time that I can say that I am really, really proud to be American. I mean, there's other things that make me proud of this country.
Yeah.
Having the entrepreneurial opportunities that I have because of a capitalist system that we live in. I love that. The beautiful people, the mosaic beautiful people that live in this country that make up the fabric of this country. I'm proud of that. But to see what America did after January 6th, which we ain't gonna mention that now, but to see what we did after such horrible things happened on January 6th, to see us just flip the script and come back on January 20th and come together as a nation, even though not all of you came together. But to see us kick the door down and create something even more beautiful, it was amazing.
I like and I appreciate it so much that I feel like we're back in the forefront of being that leading nation.
Yeah.
Having an inauguration with real standards. It's like things that I'm like,
standards, ethics.
Right.
Complete sentences.
And even the fireworks show was like, we want to let y'all know we back. I'm saying they put out no stops on that one. They showed out. And it just feels so good. This thing I heard this morning.
Talk to me.
Well, actually, it came out 2 days ago.
Okay.
It made me feel so good when Biden got into office.
Yeah.
And they were saying on his desk, they were, had they put in a new pen holder.
Yeah.
For his pen so he can sign the executive. Yeah. And they said, that's where Trump kept his markers at. No playing. That's what they said. That's where he kept his markers at. Not his pens. He kept his his markers, and I wonder if he had his crayons in the drawer or something like that. I'm like, really?
Marty.
And y'all say, you can fact check me. Fact check me. This was on CNN because they were cleaning out because they were saying how Biden, even the Andrew Jackson picture that they had in the office, in the Oval Office, they switched that to Washington. Mm-hmm. But it's down to like, wait a minute, dude. You had markers in there?
Markers. Because you know he liked writing in that bold print. Yeah.
I am so, it felt good watching that helicopter leave. Woo! And just go. And just go. So good. Okay. And it's not like you could just see it go off at a distance because it went behind the building. They said, okay, that's enough for him.
Question.
Yes.
Because I know you're in a good place right now, and I know I'm in a good place right now. But have you ever, like in your past, because, we're both married now, so it's a different story. But have you ever in your past been dating somebody and it was a toxic relationship? Mm-hmm. And then when you got out of it, you were like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I could feel so good.
Yes.
That's how I felt. I felt like the toxic boyfriend had just left.
Yes. Trust me, I don't been that toxic boyfriend myself, and I've been the person dealing with a toxic individual. Wait a minute, you've been the
toxic boyfriend?
Well, I had different times in my life.
Okay.
Sometimes, but
this is why I love you, Marty. You're honest.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Sometimes you don't know that you're the toxic person.
Yeah.
I'm saying it, and it took me some years because you get with somebody else, it's like, oh, you really crazy. I should have stayed with, But it's a thing where you realize this was not good.
No.
And I feel so much better now that people do that with jobs, with all kind of relationships. Yep. And I would even be true, marriages too.
Yeah.
That is like, we've been here for 4 years.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing but chaos.
That's
Ain't
true.
nothing but almost violence in here.
Yeah.
You know what? It's okay. Let's go our separate ways.
Yeah.
But and it was, for me, it warmed my heart, and I'm not going to criticize him because I appreciate him being there. When y'all saw Bill Clinton, W. Bush, and Barack Obama together, and they were given that farewell.
Oh, that was so good.
It was so nice, and I say this because my president, I think, did the best.
He did.
Somebody
said it is clearly obvious who the leader is in that group. And it was beautiful. It was just, now saying it to you again, it's like, it feels good.
Right.
It feels
and that's
really,
what
really
I'm saying, because I really was not a big fan of Bush.
Yeah.
But I appreciated him being there.
I did too.
I don't want to say he didn't speak the most. I'm
glad he was
there.
I'm glad he was, but Bill seemed like he was struggling a little bit.
You know what?
Like, I felt like he was just saying what he really felt. Like, I think the other ones, Obama articulated some things and put things in some nice words. And Bush, tried to put things in nice words. Bill just was like, basically something about this foolishness and inability
Bill likes to
lead.
Talk.
And I'm like,
Bill is a talker. He loves to talk. And I think they had him, trimmed down. This say you only need to say this little section.
Well, he was like, well, if all I'm
all I'm
going
to say is, and something else tells me that it was very, very cold that day. I know in the beginning it said it was going to be negative 45 anyway. Yeah. But I like that. But I know that it was very, very, very cold that day because I remember seeing Tom Hanks that night, and I'm like, did he have a stroke or something?
It's so funny you say that because I was talking to my kids. By the way, guys, if you're just now tuning into the show, I'm Doni the Tree Lady.
And I am Marty McFly, and you're listening to Doni Jones Live.
Yes, with Doni Jones and Marty McFly. Yep, love it. So last night I said to my kids, I was like, Tom Hanks is like literally one of the finest actors on the planet, right? Mm-hmm. Can't he just not act like he's cold? Like, you could tell he was cold.
You could tell, and I think he was trying to play it off.
I don't know, but it looked like his whole face.
It seemed like half of his mouth got frozen. Yeah. He was like, now we're going to do the thing. And it's like, are you Forrest Gump again? What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a nice.
It was so nice.
Even Yolanda Adams, I was like,
Yolanda Adams did the dang thing.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, what did that throwback lady go to?
Yolanda did her thing, dude. She did her thing. I am not mad.
Even the song that she did, I'm actually my church.
What song is that? What song is that?
It was called Hallelujah.
Yes.
Yes.
And I know that song. You acting like I don't know that song.
Where?
I know the song, y'all.
Okay.
I do. I know the song.
Okay.
So anyway,
I'm not gonna. We just gonna let that go. But I was happy to see her. But the one that took the show.
What's that? My girl, Amanda Gorman.
Yes.
Say her name.
Yes.
Amanda.
Say her name. Say
Gorman.
her name.
Slay. 22-year-old young lady.
Oh yes.
She stole the show.
Yes. You know what's crazy? I heard more about her, and that was one point because I had a quick meeting I had to go to.
Yeah.
So I didn't see her.
Oh my God.
But I had
so
a Bible study that night, and before we even said, "Praise the Lord." Hey, y'all see that girl?
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow. And then I went and looked at the video.
Yeah.
She threw down 22.
22 years old.
Yes. You know, I am so happy that, and I shouldn't say it like this, but I really feel it.
Yeah.
They just made America great again.
They did.
You know what? You're listening to Donnie Jones Live.
When
And
you
that's, you know what? That's the first time I actually.
Think about this. If you have if you have a business and the president of that company leaves and the company is better because that company left, you know,
right.
That's kind of you want to make. I think he made America great by leaving.
Because you did it your way.
Dude. You know what's so funny? And I'll talk about this in the next segment. He played a song called Gloria, which is an old 80s jam.
Yeah.
No, that's...
Look, my Gloria.
Okay, that's not the right, Marty.
What? Look.
That's the urban version of it.
I don't listen to the non-urban. I forgot your household. I know my household.
You're talking about the R&B version.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the pop version from the 80s.
Oh.
I'm a find the words to that song, and on the next segment we're going to talk about that because I just think it's hilarious that he has played this almost on every place where he spoke, and I don't know if it's him picking the song or if somebody is messing with him.
Oh wow! But you know what's interesting though? While we said that, we gotta take a quick break. When Obama was getting out, I don't know if there was a song that a white guy made called Obama. In the same version of Gloria.
Oh yes,
said,
now that is true. Yeah,
so it's kind of funny
that is true.
Anyway, look, we gotta take a quick break. You're listening to Donnie Jones Live with the beautiful arborist. And you know what? Can I say if they call right now want a copy of your book?
Absolutely.
They can, look, if you actually call us right now, because Donnie.
I don't know how to do it.
You don't know. I don't know. You know what? There's a commercial right now that's trying to teach people not to be their parents. You know, and it's like, I don't have a off button. I don't know
how to do it. You don't know how to do it either. What was you getting ready to say?
My phone. I was going to say, if you wanted a copy of Donnie's book, that is very interesting because it's almost like, to me, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I got the book a couple of years ago. And I really didn't read the book. But once I started reading it, I realized that, you know what? It's a lot of people in my life that needs to hear these stories. You know, it's a thing of where you're at and where you're going. You know, and it is really inspiring. So I'm actually doing endorsements. I don't really do that a whole lot. But, you know, if you really want to have a change in your life or see how life can change, you might want to check out Donnie Jones' book. From what is it?
From failure to fabulous.
I'm playing with you. No, from failure to fabulous. It's actually anywhere online. You can just look it up. If you type in Doni, D-O-N-I, Jones, you're going to see her pop up somewhere. But the book is fabulous. But look, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live.
Hi, I'm Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service and author of my book, From Failure to Fabulous. From Failure to Fabulous is my story about taking my life from being an abject failure to building a fabulous life that I absolutely love. And I'm hoping that you'll take the time to check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous.
Be inspired by Donnie's journey from failure to fabulous, as she explains how she started with $45 and a business card. And with perseverance and commitment, she took that small dream and turned it into $1 million company. From Failure to Fabulous by Donnie Jones, the Tree Lady. Available on Amazon and all online bookstores.
It's not too late to file your taxes. Don't be afraid to file, even if you feel you may owe, because this may not be so. Allow TrueTax to give you a free estimated quote based on minimum information required on our app. Please download the TrueSax app from Google Play and follow the prompts and choose Killeen, Texas as your preferred location. Remember to call Sunny at 254-304-9416. TrueSax and Credit Solutions, always true to price and service. When you file with us, you will receive a free credit profile cleanup and a free one-document notary service.
Project South and the Hunger Coalition of Atlanta, in partnership with Community Organized Relief Effort, have launched free COVID-19 testing at 9 Gammon Street, Southeast Atlanta. Drive-through and walk-up testing options are available Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The tests are self-administered via throat swab, and individuals will be contacted within 4 to 7 days with results. If you need free COVID-19 testing, call 404-622-0602. If you need testing for the coronavirus, this is your opportunity. Once again, that's 404-622-0602. Project South and the Hunger Coalition of Atlanta, in partnership with Community Organized Relief Effort, have launched free COVID-19 testing at 9 Gammon Street, Southeast Atlanta. Go to corresponse.org/COVID-19-Atlanta.
Liberty Christian Center. As the temperatures begin to rise, let the Spirit of the Lord rise in you. Recognize that you're in the season of greater with the one who is greater. The Liberty Christian Center, living with expectation. This and every week, join Pastor Rodney and Karen Gilchrist, along with the Liberty Christian Center family, as we purify our lives through the words of Jesus Christ. Join us Sundays at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship, and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for our WOW service. Worshiping on Wednesday. Join us online at straightjesus.com. That's STR8Jesus.com. Liberty Christian Center, 4107 West Cliff Road in Killeen, Texas. We are declaring the year of greater.
Hey, this is your girl, Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
Welcome back to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and...
that guy, Marty McFly.
Yes. Okay. Before we went to the break, I was saying that I really wanted to pull out the lyrics to the song Gloria.
Right.
Which we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on 45 because
that's over. That was yesterday. I don't want to talk about
But I just think this is so hilarious that one of the songs that he goes out on or comes in on is called Gloria. Okay. And so here's some of the words. Are there voices in your head calling Gloria? But you don't remember, was it something that they said? Are there voices in your head saying Gloria? Will you, and then this is what takes me about Melania. Will you marry for the money or take a lover in the afternoon? Feel your innocence slip away. Don't believe it's coming back soon. And then there's another one that says, Glory, don't think you're falling. Wait a minute, where'd it go? If everybody wants you, why isn't anybody calling? You don't have an answer.
Okay. That is, you know what? I don't think that guy thinks things through thoroughly, because I don't know if you remember right before he got out, they were saying, well, what is on his calendar? What's on his agenda?
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to get up early.
Right.
I'm going to work till late. And I'm going to make many phone calls and have many meetings.
Yes.
Just go.
Just go.
That's not the one that says.
This is the favorite line.
What?
I think you've got to slow down before you start to blow it. I think you're headed for a breakdown, so be careful not to show it. That is literally the words of that song, and he plays it.
I don't think
as
he's
his
listening.
theme song. And
I don't think he's listening. I'm saying, and you know what's ironic about that?
What's that?
And I've actually preached about this one time.
What's that?
That most people, when they listen to music, they only listen to the hook. They don't think about the words.
The hook says, is there something that they said?
Well, see, I ain't never heard I haven't heard that version of the song anyway. It was at the contemporary, and it was 80s too. It
was an 80s pop song that was really popular.
Okay, I'll have to check it out because I didn't even. I never listened to any of his I never went to his rallies. I didn't know they played about that.
I've never been to his rallies.
But you know.
But no, because you see when he's like leaving or coming and they do like a short clip or something.
I thought he was doing the YMCA.
He did that too, which nobody in his circle supports the LGBTQ plus community,
wait. YMCA was a place.
It was a place.
But I know what
back in the 70s, men would meet there and they could find friendship and affection at the YMCA.
Really?
Yeah, that's
honestly.
Back in the 70s.
And I'm not trying to act naive. I knew. Put it like this. I knew the stereotype of the group. But I knew the YMCA.
They all met at the YMCA, dude.
Look, we still support our local YMCA.
Yeah, we love
and
the
everything.
YMCA. Okay, the YMCA, that is not what it's known for now. It is a great organization that helps young people.
Yes.
And so please, no backlash against our show.
Okay, let's move on from that one.
Back to Biden.
Yeah, but we ain't even got to get to Biden. You know what? I will say something about Kamala that. You know what, Donnie?
What?
I had a conversation with a guy this week. Okay. Actually, you know what? And I ain't gonna say his name or anything, but if he's listening, because they work at one of the affiliates that we're affiliated with. But I was having a conversation with him, and I was asking him. I was like, "Did you get a chance? Are you watching the inauguration and everything?"
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
He's like, "Why would I want to watch that mess?" And I'm like,
"Okay, what?
Wait,
what?
Time out." And his stance was, and he's an African-American brother, and I do really respect him.
Are you sure he's an African-American brother?
Well, his Facebook picture got a whole lot of color in it, and that ain't Photoshop.
Okay.
But and I value everybody's opinion, but, I think I'm frustrated with some of us.
Yeah.
Because he was saying that he wasn't supporting it because he felt like Harris was almost like a token, that she didn't have power, and was asking the question, well, what have she ever done for black people? And it made me really, try to look at myself to say, okay, now how do I want to address this?
Right.
In a proper professional way, because for me, Harris being there is a statement for people of color.
Right.
Right. Now, granted, she's really powerful in there because she makes the last, decision of if the House and the Senate is split. She's the one that makes the final, not the House and Senate, but if it's split, she has the final decision as the vice president. Also,
which is powerful.
Which is powerful.
That's called power.
And if you are next in place to being the world leader in a sense.
That's right.
That's powerful. If you are sitting beside and I can just call you.
Come on now.
That's power. Think about this. If I had the ability to say, hey, Oprah, what you think about this?
Yeah.
That's power.
It's powerful.
So if you are sharing the office or you are next runner-up, that's powerful. And even so for the black community, I want to say it like this. For one, she is a role model for so many other people to say, I can.
You were telling me about your niece, right?
Yes, my niece. My niece, the other day, when they had, got inaugurated, the next day she put on a jacket, a blazer and some gym shoes or whatever, because she wanted to fit that image that she saw Vice President Harris do one time. And she said at first, well, do people think I'm going to be all that? She said, well, you know what? I can be a vice president one day.
That's right.
I can do this. And it was like
not only a vice president, she can be president one day.
She can be president. That 22-year-old girl, she could be president one day. And also, when people say, well, what have they done for the black race?
Right.
They educated themselves.
That's right.
They ran for office.
That's right.
They've tried to do stuff in politics. Well, they've tried to make a difference and a change. You might not agree with everything.
Right.
But they've tried to make a difference.
That's right.
The part that I concerned with us as a people, if we're still programmed that we were programmed way back when, that every time you see somebody else move up, you stop liking them.
Almost like the crabs in a bucket type situation.
The crabs in a bucket, or that Willie Lynch, type mentality. Okay, let's if we see somebody, and this is not just in politics. People do that in the church.
They do.
They say, why did they promote her to the usher board? You know, she ain't all that. She ain't qualified.
Right.
She don't know how to walk and say right here.
Right.
Like, what? Yeah. But they do that. This lady has actually been out there on the forefront.
That's right.
And she was real, because I did make a joke several months ago, because she was on the Breakfast Club, and they roasted her because she said, when I was in college, yes, I smoked some marijuana when I was in college.
She did say that, but I think that's being honest.
I'd rather you tell me honestly.
Yes, I would.
Now, when I became a prosecutor, I couldn't do it.
Right, absolutely.
But somebody being in there in the fight that says, you know what, I see what's going on, and what can I do to change it? Because sometimes the laws, I just can't change.
But if you can find a way to work within the laws and set yourself up to be an agent of change, I think that's powerful. And I think that's exactly what she did. The other thing that boggles my mind is that we always go back to education.
Yes.
And why it's important to change what is being taught in schools about the history of this country. If we can understand as a culture why we behave certain ways, such as the crab in a bucket, such as the Willie Lynch, if we understand that we were taught to look at each other with suspicion, we were taught to try to pull each other down, and you didn't want one slave didn't want another slave to have more privileges than other. That stuff gets passed down from generation to generation, and even if you don't think you're affected by it, you're affected by it. You know, whether it's for the positive or for the negative. Even if you being affected by it means I don't want to be like that, so I'm going to choose to do better. You were affected by the fact that you learned that was taught to us. And so my goal and my hope and my prayer in our program and in conversations like this is that we bring up the truth of what happened in this country, not as something to put this country down, but as a way to go, listen, we can learn from this, and then we can do better in the future.
And you know, it's when you say that, it goes generation by generation, just like, you know, generational wealth.
Yes.
There's generational ignorance too.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
And you've been programmed to believe this certain kind of way. You've been programmed to think the thing that happened a couple of weeks ago in the Capitol. That is somewhat of a programmable mindset of saying that, okay, these people are different. They're trying to take our land away.
What do they think they're trying to take? They said we're trying to take their land?
Well, their country
Which is
back.
stolen.
Their country.
But
it's this was taught to some people.
Oh, I like where you're going.
You know, this was taught.
Man.
This has been programmed.
Marty.
You know, this is in them.
Marty, you're so right. It just hit me like a ton of bricks what you just said. Because, and I'm not excusing their behavior because it's wrong, it's horrible. Everything that you could say that's wrong with is wrong. But just like I just admitted that we were taught to do the crabs in a bucket thing, we were taught the Willie Lynch, you know, way of trying to divide us and stuff like that. Those people that were acting a dang fool and showed up in that Capitol, yes, they're responsible for their behavior. I'm not saying they're not, but they were taught that.
They were taught that.
They were taught.
Programmed.
Some of them are even programmed that they're better than us.
Oh, yes.
And then when things don't go their way, they're angry because in their mind, they don't get it. They're like, well, wait a minute. This is our country. What? What's up with all this multiculturalism? What's up with all of this?
We don't want that. We just want it to be ours. You know, and you stay in your place. And it's like, no, it's how to change that. And it's sad. It's the generations that come up after. You know, it a little bit more is opened up. I'm saying acceptance in a sense. You know, the generations before us, for instance, generations before us had a lot of issues with
LGBTQ plus people.
Now, the generation after that, they were a little bit more relaxed. You know, each generation gets a little bit more acceptance, and it's like, oh, it's okay. Years ago, a black man and a white man really couldn't be sitting in the same car together.
That's right.
You know, don't look at me. Now it's like they marrying and they on TV and they promoting this. Each generation kind of relaxed because everybody is not programmed to that same ideology.
Well, it also comes back to education. You're educated that if you learn that, you know what, certain people are only about 10% of the 10 to 12% of the population, and they can't just rub on you and make you a certain way. They might expose you, like in an inappropriate situation, somebody might expose you to something that's not appropriate, but they can't make you be something you're not. You know what I mean? And those are the bad ones that hurt somebody and stuff. But I'm talking about under a normal situation where there's no abuse, there's no craziness, there's just people being people, 10 to 12% of the population is a little outside of what we perceive as what the norm is.
And what's sad is our education. Some people are thinking that Facebook and all of these social media outlets are educational pieces, and it's like, no, they're using algorithms and to basically show you what you want to believe.
That's right.
That's
right.
Teach you.
There's a show
or hype on your ignorance.
Right. We're going to take a quick break, and I think I know we're going to go a little bit into entrepreneurship, but I think we need to talk about this a little bit longer.
Yes.
Plus, I love talking to you about this stuff. So, I'm Doni the Tree Lady.
And I am that guy, Marty McFly. And that little fella who I'm talking about, you know who you are. Don't take us off your radio.
We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Hey, this is your girl, Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
Hey, I'm Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service and author of From Failure to Fabulous. From Failure to Fabulous is my opportunity to share with you my trials and tribulations of growing a tree service or growing a small business and making it successful by overcoming adversity, and also giving you some tidbits on what you can do on a day-to-day basis to achieve your dreams and be the best that you can be. And you can find us on Amazon. You can go to Doni Jones
Calling all
Live.
Greeks, Masons,
Anywhere that
Eastern
books are sold,
Stars.
you should be able
If
to
you're
find
looking
it.
for the most stylish paraphernalia, you need to make your way to Nubian Books. From t-shirts to sweaters, jackets to hats, and everything in between. Nubian Books also has a vast collection of urban comics, cards, calendars, and books from great African American authors. Nubian Books also handles special orders. If they don't already have it, they'll get it. Nubian Books, 1540 South Lake Parkway in Morrow, 678-422-6120. Now, back to more Doni Jones Live with Doni and Marty McFly.
Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Doni the Tree Lady.
And I am that guy, Marty McFly.
And our show is Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones and Marty McFly.
Yeah,
that's actually the name of the show.
Yeah, just to make sure you know that.
Jones
and if you want to,
Marty McFly.
Yes, and if you ever want to reach us, please call us at 1-888-349-DONI.
Or call us at that number right here that's at the bottom of the screen.
It is.
Well, it will be when you
yeah, there you go, right there. But yeah, and before we move on, I gotta do the shameless plug because I just signed this new endorsement deal.
Yes.
So if you find yourself in a place of despair and you're trying to find some inspiration to take you from your failure aspect of your mindset to a fabulous life, I recommend Doni Jones, From Failure to Fabulous. Yes. And, all joking aside, but it is a very inspiring book of, sometimes if you read somebody else's stories and see how somebody else got to where we're at, you can actually see some areas in your life that say, you know what, I can do that too. Just like we were talking about Harris, Vice President Harris, you can see her story, or even Biden's story.
Yes,
all the tragedy that he went through and said, well, his perseverance still took him to where he's at now.
That's right.
Doni Jones, From Failure to Fabulous, is one of those stories that, if you really find out about her, because she tried to be modest sometimes, but I'm saying she is one of those people that could go to the bank and write a check and the bank bounce. But when she started out, $45 on a business card.
That's right.
And it's interesting when you hear somebody else's story, and I don't share my story with everybody all the time, but some people look at me now and say, well, you have it good, you're okay, and I'm like, not too far in the distant past. Yeah. My life was not, I knew God and I knew about how to get a direction, but I didn't go in it, And, sometimes listening to somebody else's story can give you encouragement. So I was talking to a young man the other day and I was doing that.
Listening to your story gives me encouragement.
So, but with that, it takes you getting up off that couch. It takes you saying, you know what? Let me do it. So anyway, like I said, From Failure to Fabulous, Doni Jones' book, it even goes into some actually interesting things about marriage that she said it benefited her and her marriage, You know.
I'm just saying, ladies, take care of them. Just take care of yourself too, but take care of them. That's all I'm saying.
And I'll say this, fellas, you might want to get the book and give that chapter to your significant other. Just saying, you know, I know we on a lot of religious programming stations, but we're going to keep it clean, you know.
And also, by the way, not to do a shameless plug, but I will say a lot of the success that we've had, especially here in the Atlanta market with my company, Don's Tree Service.
Yes.
And also marketing the book and promoting and everything has been done through a company called Vast Productions.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know that, but Vast Production is actually a company that Marty and I started, but he's actually the brains behind it. He's the talent behind it. Him and his team are the people that make this happen. So you'll see commercials all over the United States. You'll hear commercials all over the United States that have his voice in it or other talent that's within our organization that he's been blessed to be a part of. But that's through Vast Productions. And also, if you ever need something for your company, whether it's a commercial, whether it's a documentary or movie, he actually is the brainchild behind it. So if you need anything production-wise, reach out to Marty at vastproductions.net. That's VAST. Productions.net, or you can hit us up on Facebook.
Right, and right now we're doing like a little special, you know, and I'll give you a little bit more details about it. And it's going to sound funny, but it's going to make you think too. You know, with so many old people dying right now, you might want to do like a documentary about grandmama, you know, about that family history. Yeah. Like, grandma, but tell me about what was it like in 1912 or whatever when you was growing up?
You know, 1912?
I'm saying I ain't doing the math right now.
That's over 100 years old.
Well,
you know what? Grandma might be 100.
But no, at the same time, you know, we have people that have so much knowledge about our family history. Yeah. And unfortunately, we deal with things that we can't control, like dementia, you know, Alzheimer's. Yep. And some of these stories of who we were needs, you know, I would love to capture that.
You need to preserve those
You want to
stories.
preserve that. I've done that for my family. I've done that for other, you know, families. And what we do is, you know, we talk to different patriarchs of the family. Yeah. You know, the grandmother, the
and
big mama.
Their stories. Yeah.
And pictures, stories, you know, meaningful things, and you keep that as an archive so you know who you are. Yes. Because it's sad that once someone passes, you know, that information is gone. Yeah. So that's one thing that we do, you know, really specialize in. So it's not all about, you know, some people think that production is just well, I got a music video, I got me a song, and it's like, you know, it's so many other things. That's weddings. A friend of mine did something for his son, which was very interesting. His son was turning from 12 to 13, and he was trying to do that Wakanda, you know, but it was like documenting my son into manhood. He did a whole, you know, program and everything, and videotaped different people that they felt was positive influences in his life to give him lifelong messages. Wow. You know, and they asked me to do one of them, you know, and I did it. But we videotaped it so they can have this lifelong thing to go back, you know. So it's something to think about, you know, just, you know, you remember Superman, the first one? Yes. With Kal-El, and he was like, I want to talk to my daddy. Yeah. And he had those crystals that were saved, and he could put the crystal in, and that's what his father's message. You know? That was my show. So in the same sense, that's things that we do. So if there's something that you want to preserve with your family, if there's some kind of something that you want to put in a tangible format, call us.
Yep, you know? Vast Productions.
Vast Productions. See, that was just a whole shameless plug for both everything.
I don't think but you know what? That's actually one of the things that I talk about with entrepreneurship. We joke and call it a shameless plug, but that's what we are here to serve. If you own a business or provide a service, you have to get out there, you have to talk to people, and you have to promote. One of the biggest things that people do is they neglect the network that they already have. Yes. When I used to be in network marketing, one of the fastest ways to grow your business was to start with the people that you know. Now, here's the thing, though. Yeah. People go, well, the people that I know don't know nobody. That's not true. Because a lot of my success has come from somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody. Right. It wasn't necessarily that person that I knew initially. It was somebody that they knew. Yep. So if you have nowhere to start, you can start with the people that you know. You can start with social media. I can't tell you how many people that I meet that actually come to Vast Productions and says, well, I want to market my business and I want to put together a commercial or whatever, but I don't know anybody. I don't know who to market my business to. And then that's where I jump in and talk to them about growing their name, growing their brand, or growing their platform. And a lot of times your platform is right there in front of you. There's people with 4 or 5, I was gonna say thousands because that's the last example that I have, but there's people with 1,000 or 1,500 or 2,000 friends on Facebook that you've never even talked about your product or service.
That's true.
You know, because you feel like, well, I don't want to turn my friends off. Let me tell you something. Let me get real with you.
Talk to them.
If you mention your product or service and somebody gets turned off by it, that doesn't need to be your friend. That person does not need to be your friend. I know I kind of mumbled over my words a little bit.
Oh, you got
Basically,
you get the gist of it.
If somebody's got something to say about what you do to put food on your table, and they get turned off about it because you mentioned it on social media, they don't understand social media, and they also may not necessarily be your real friend. Just saying.
I'm gonna jump in on that because I agree with you. But I think it goes even deeper in that. Have confidence in yourself. You know, have confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Put your product out there.
Yeah.
People are gonna have an opinion.
That's
you
right.
know, and in the same sense, you kind of want that.
Right.
You know, if you
Well,
put something out there and it doesn't invoke any kind
Right.
of emotion or anything, well, your product ain't doing
That's
nothing.
right.
You know, but put it out there, and the people that you're around understand is the theory of 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
You know, if I talk to you, you're going to talk to somebody else,
That's
and if
right.
you put it out there,
Yeah.
then your business will grow.
Right.
You know.
Well, I would even go back to when you talk about promoting and putting yourself out there. We just came out of an election cycle.
Yes.
All they did was put their name out there and promote them so that you would vote. When somebody buys your product or service, that's them voting for you. That's them voting for your product or service. And in turn, you reap the benefit, which also gives you the opportunity to put more good work out there and to be able to be of service to your community.
Think of this. Think of this. What's the guy Warnock?
Warnock.
You're
Yep.
proud of him.
So proud of him.
But guess what?
So proud of him. What?
3 months ago, 6 months ago, I had no clue who this guy was.
Dude, who you telling?
No clue.
Yeah. No, I knew he was. Okay, I'm not trying to be funny. I knew who he was because he was a Facebook friend of mine. But
look, I'm in ministry. I knew nothing about this little fella. You know,
really
at all. But promotion, putting yourself out there. Now, what's crazy is, and I'll be honest.
Okay.
I don't know his policies.
Yeah.
I don't know what he stands for. I know he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else about him except his name and his forehead, what he looked like.
But you want to hear something funny? Talking about promotion and being creative and reaching out to somebody like Marty with Vast Productions.
Right.
One thing I do remember about Warnock is he did a commercial with a puppy in it.
Right. Yes.
That puppy commercial,
And he put the little Christmas lights around one time. Yes.
That was literally my favorite political commercial.
Right. And it's like,
it had a puppy in it.
And see, here's the thing about promotion. Just being out there in the public's eye.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. If you are thinking about doing something in any kind of way of promotion of your business, if you don't want to call us directly, the radio station that you're listening to right now, I know that they will be able to help you in your, whatever you're trying to do. If you call the station and just say, you know what? I got a small barbecue pot, pit, and I just want some kind of mention.
Yeah.
They will take that.
That's right.
And take your product and see how can we get it to the masses.
That's right.
And sometimes don't get scared that
you're better than I am. You better call Vast Productions, and then we're gonna hook you up with that relationship. And then I'm messing with you.
We promoting the stations that we own, so they can give us some more promos, and they can just say, hey, they can show us some more love.
Okay, call the station that we're on.
Call the station that we own. No, I'm saying for advertising.
No, you're right.
Anyway, you listening to Donnie Jones. You see why this show is called Donnie Jones.
No, he's right.
But it's all.
Can you edit that out? What I just said?
No, this is live. Anyway, you're listening to Donnie Jones Live. If you do want to contact us, hit us up at 1-888-349-DONNIE.
Or contact the station that we're on to get find out how you can promote your business.
If you want to book.
Yes.
If you want to book or you want to contact the Vast Communications, Vast Productions. You got me thinking about two different things now. You know what? I'm going to drink me some more coffee, and we're going to just take a quick break. How about that?
Right.
That's good?
I love it.
You're listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and Marty McFly.
Yeah.
It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live.
Hi, I'm Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service and author of my book, From Failure to Fabulous. From Failure to Fabulous is my story about taking my life from being an abject failure to building a fabulous life that I absolutely love. And I'm hoping that you'll take the time to check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous.
Be inspired by Doni's journey from failure to fabulous as she explains how she started with $45 and a business card. And with perseverance and commitment, she took that small dream and turned it into $1 million company. From Failure to Fabulous by Doni Jones, the Tree Lady. Available on Amazon and all online
Project South
bookstores.
and the Hunger Coalition of Atlanta, in partnership with Community Organized Relief Effort, have launched free COVID-19 testing at 9 Gammon Street, Southeast Atlanta. Drive-through and walk-up testing options are available Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The tests are self-administered via throat swab, and individuals will be contacted within 4 to 7 days with results. If you need free COVID-19 testing, call 404-622-0602. If you need testing for the coronavirus, this is your opportunity. Once again, that's 404-622-0602. Project South and the Hunger Coalition of Atlanta, in partnership with Community Organized Relief Effort, have launched free COVID-19 testing at 9 Gammon Street, Southeast Atlanta. Go to coresponse.org/COVID-19-Atlanta.
Liberty Christian Center. As the temperatures begin to rise, let the Spirit of the Lord rise in you. Recognize that you're in the season of greater with the one who is greater. The Liberty Christian Center, living with expectation. This and every week, join Pastor Rodney and Karen Gilchrist, along with the Liberty Christian Center family, as we purify our lives through the words of Jesus Christ. Join us Sundays at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship, and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for our WOW service. Worshiping on Wednesday. Join us online at straightjesus.com. That's STR8 Jesus.com. Liberty Christian Center, 4107 West Cliff Road in Killeen, Texas. We are declaring the year of greater. Now, back to more Doni Jones Live with Doni and Marty McFly.
Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live. Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live.
Welcome back. You're listening to Doni the Tree Lady.
And I am that guy, Marty McFly.
Yeah.
You know, Doni, we've been talking about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
We've been talking about so many different things. But you know, this portion, and I'll be honest, we haven't been doing a spiritual thought in a minute.
Well,
you know,
Marty's
it was so.
Is it Marty's Minute? What do we used to call it?
I don't know, a moment with Marty, but I don't know.
Marty.
I don't.
Marty's
know,
a spiritual man.
Just.
Yes, Pastor Marty.
Well, it's not even. You know, it's interesting. I don't want to always approach things in a religious way, but
Right.
at the same time, there's principles in the Bible.
Yeah.
That, you know, me and you were talking earlier today, and you had said something about, we were having a conversation about just business and the Bible and people and stuff like that, and she made a statement of the Bible might not be a business principle, but at the same time,
it is, I think.
That's what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about promotion and everything.
Yeah.
And understand that a lot of things in the Bible with the Jesus story is about promotion too. You know, there was a John the Baptist that went out there and started telling, hey, something's about to come.
Oh, that's so good.
You know, it's going to be really, really good. Y'all going to like this.
Yeah.
It's good news.
Yeah.
There's another time where he sent his disciples out there to tell them what was going on.
Tell them the good news.
You know,
Yeah.
and then there is a big famous thing that story in the Bible that we always know, that we always hear about. Well, Jesus was swept off and was tempted by Satan, and the angels was waiting on him.
Right.
You know, we hear that.
Yeah.
Think about this. People are waiting on you too. Are you in a wilderness just sitting there?
Yes.
It's time for you to say, because after they said in Mark, they say the angels was waiting on him. And then the next line it says, now, after something happened, it was John the Baptist got arrested. He said, now he comes to Galilee. Don't have something tragic have to happen in your life for you to get up off the couch.
That's
Use
right.
your now.
Yes.
Get up and start doing it. Because after that, he started picking up those people that help him with his ministry one by one. You know, so it's kind of like what we were saying earlier about where do you start at? When do you start?
Right now.
Start now.
Yeah.
You know, who do you have around you? You don't know until you ask.
That's right.
Just say, hey, you know, I have a landscaping business.
Yep.
Do you know
a painting business?
A painting business.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that wants this? Or
Right.
when you have time, if you need some paint work done, Remember me.
Remember me.
You know, just remember me.
And doesn't he say that? Remember me.
Right,
Like
yes.
all the principles that we need to be able to grow into whatever it is we're called to do.
Yes.
They're biblical principles.
They're biblical.
Even if you're not, because I joke with Marty, I'm not a religious person.
No,
I'm more
not
of
at
a
all.
spiritual.
She hate, but I ain't gonna say she hate church, but no, she ain't religious at all.
I ain't religious. But spiritual principles, I absolutely believe in spiritual principles. And speaking of spirit, there's a renewed energy right now in our country.
Oh, yes.
There's a renewed spirit in our country. And I really, it's on my heart to encourage people, don't just sit at home or sit at your job and just have the feel-good feelings. Do something with this.
Oh, yeah.
Do something with what's happening right now in our country. There's people right now, even in the midst of a pandemic, that are doing extremely well.
Yes.
You know, there's people that, that used to knit, and all they did was knit, and it was just their little hobby. They lost their job and somehow turned their little knitting business into hundreds of thousands of dollars making masks. There's restaurants that have been struggling to keep the doors open, and all of a sudden they were like, well, maybe I could just deliver food to people. And now they're like blowing up like crazy. And they don't have to deal with as much interior staff because they're doing delivery. So there's so many ways that you can take this renewal thing that we're feeling right now, and this renewed energy and this renewed spirit in America, and make it your own. But I will tell you this, if you don't take this renewed energy and this beautiful spirit and do something with it, your life isn't going to be any different.
No.
Next year, next month, next week, it's not going to be any different if you don't do something different.
Right. If you don't change your environment is not going to change.
That's right.
Same thing with your situation. I'm saying if you don't get bogged down and just like, something happened. You know, you have to initiate stuff.
Ain't nothing gonna happen if you don't make something happen.
I like to always say, the Bible says you have not because you ask not.
Yeah.
I say you have not because you're not. I just say your donkey is not. In a sense, because you have to pray like it's all on God, but you got to work like it's all on you.
Ooh.
And people
could you
forget
repeat that, brother?
Pray like it's all on God, but work like it's all on you.
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
You put those together.
I'm gonna write that one down.
That's a blessed moment.
I'm gonna write that. No, but he's so good. But no, you're absolutely right. But it's like I do see people that are so excited about what's going on right now, but they're not playing the game.
They're not playing the game. They're not serious at the game.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They're not serious at the game. It's funny watching the inauguration. Yeah. And I'm a video person, like we said, and I was watching doing the live performances. Yeah. That was a detailed, thought out.
Yes.
Every angle,
John
every shot,
Legend
everything.
Slayed. But go ahead.
But even with I think the last song was Katy Perry, which
so
Fireworks,
good.
which was wonderful. But to think of, it wasn't by accident
that
Joe Biden and his and First Lady are on the balcony, and this perfect shot that's framed up. That's not a coincidence.
That's not a coincidence.
It was planned.
That's
In
right.
your life, don't make your life a coincidence. Plan it.
Yeah.
Just say, okay, what do I want to happen? How do I plan this? How do I push it?
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, write it down, make the plan. Okay, what do I want to do?
Right.
And then start.
Well, what you just said made me think of some notes that I'd made, which is about decluttering your life. Get the clutter. One of the things that we joke about the fact that, this was just like getting out of a toxic relationship or getting the toxicity out of your life. But it's the same thing in your business or in your relationships. You got to declutter your life. You got to get the toxicity out of your life. And just to make it real, if there's areas of your life that are cluttered up, get rid of the clutter.
Get rid of it.
You got to. I'm doing a declutterization right now in my office.
Oh.
In my business. What was that?
No, I thought you were doing a cleanser. I thought you were about to say a cleanser right now.
But you know what? This is a great time of year to do a cleanse. But no, seriously, guys.
Get it out your system. Get it out your world. Get it out your environment. Yeah. I'm saying the things that, I moved some stuff from my house, not too long ago.
Yeah, because you got 2 houses. Go ahead.
I was relocating. But, with the stuff that I was bringing over, I realized this is junk.
It's junk, yeah.
Why am I holding on to junk that's not, and I'm actually paying to store junk in my life.
That's right.
Why do we do this also? Declutter your life. Some of us are running with chickens with our heads cut off because we're not focused, and we have so many different things. And it's like, you know what? Declutter your life. And some of that is with your friends, too.
It's with your friends. And a lot of times people go, well, I don't know where to start. I'm going to be, one of my favorite words, transparent. When decluttering my office, I'm a grown woman. I'm a mother of 2. I'm a married lady, been a business owner for over 20 years. You know what I did? I sat down and Googled, how do you declutter your office? How do you organize your office? How do you organize your paperwork? I Googled it. And actually, to be more specific, instead of Googling, I actually went on YouTube. And I actually sat there, and I swear, one of the girls that I listened to yesterday, I think she's half my age. She was like this little 20-something-year-old chick that had all these papers all over her desk, and she was showing you how to organize your paperwork, how to organize your business. I didn't care how old she was. I said, this woman has a skill set that could help me. So I put my ego aside and said, okay, it's time that I learn how to do this. So if there's something in your life right now that you don't know how to do, or that you're struggling with right now, you don't have to do it all on your own. You don't have to try to figure it out. A lot of what you need to do could be on Google.
You know, it could
YouTube.
It could be on Google, YouTube, or in a book. Because they say, you know, if you want to hide something, put it in a book.
Put it in a book,
You know, but if you want to know some of that story of like decluttering, how to organize, and you know, some of the things, you know, it's interesting between an educated man and a wise man. An educated man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. You know, read the book. You know, understand how to declutter. Understand how to get your life right. You know, and get some advice. You know, and then just try it.
Now, be real. My book is not decluttering paperwork. My book is about decluttering your life. Okay? Because the paperwork I needed help on. But my life, I mean, I don't hide from the fact that I went through some very challenging times as a child. I went through some jacked up relationships as an adult. And I went through some hard times where I dealt with depression. I dealt with betrayal. I dealt with bankruptcy. I dealt with all kind of things.
And that nightlife thing that you used to do too. And
I didn't. All of that. I did all of that. I did all of that.
Talking about 4 midgets
and that's another thing. It's a quick read. It's not going to take you forever to read it. Seriously, check it out, guys. From Failure to Fabulous.
He wouldn't read it, but he could. Donald Trump could read this book. Okay. All right. It's really plain, simple.
Simple, and it's a very quick read.
You ain't got to have a dictionary beside it.
It is not overly complicated. But it's just my desire to help people. That's all it is. My desire to reach out to people and tell my story and be able to have it help someone.
Doni, it's been a great day.
It has been a great day.
And unfortunately, we are going to have to go.
But I want to talk about the inauguration some more. No.
You know what? I videotaped that whole 24 hours. I'm just going back. You know, like, pause. You see him leaving? Let's put that on repeat.
Well, before we leave, tell me real quick, what was your favorite part of the inauguration?
Him leaving. I told you. That was it. I woke up early. I got on CNN when they were looking at the lights in his room. They was like, well, the president isn't up yet. You know, we see the lights on the left.
You saw that part? See, I didn't start reading.
You know, I was up early because they were saying, well, Biden is up right now. He's getting ready because his place supposed to be. And that's when I realized, him and Melania, they don't share the same room.
They don't.
I was up then, but I think my biggest part, you know, outside of the actual program itself, where I teared up, is when Harris actually took the oath. You know, that was something meaningful. And I didn't realize that was going to affect me emotionally, but just thinking about seeing history being made, seeing where God has brought us as a people to, you know, it just meant a whole lot. And that was the biggest part that just said, you go, girl.
I think that was my favorite. That and the poet, but seeing Harris get sworn in.
That emotional aspect, you know, and as soon as she got sworn in, they did a quick cutaway to Pence, and I don't know why it just made me feel good, like, You know, I don't know. It's just one of those. I shouldn't be like that. I don't know, and I'm honest, but it was like, You know, and maybe
I'm
at the
trying
end
to end on a positive
that night, but the night, the fireworks finale made me feel like I could stand up and say, this is my country that I'm proud of. we have our issues, we have our problems, but we are resilient and we keep standing up and keep moving forward. So that's why I'm proud to be an American now.
And I think we're going to end on that. I'm proud to be an American too, guys.
Yes.
Reach out to your neighbors, love one another, be kind, and let's remember, it is the United States.
Right. And it's not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country or your fellow man.
That's right.
Love.
You guys be blessed.
Yes. You're listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and Marty McFly. Have a great week.
Yeah.